Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Dead End Paranormal Park, Season 2, Episode 3. So, yeah, we're continuing to see just the starts of this season, getting to see just kind of where everything's going. We got Fingers joining the cast, who I don't trust at all. Pugsley is learning new kinds of magic, angelic magic, which resulted in some clones coming to life and fucking around with things. But we also had Norma realizing she has feelings for Badia, which is wonderful in every way. Um, and we have the continued relationship between Barney and Logs. So things are going pretty well. Courtney's behaving as much as Courtney tends to. But there's still the question of where is this going? Because so far, it seems like it's, again, only just starting out. It hasn't really given us a true lead into where this season might be heading. The only thing I can say for sure is that Fingers is not trustworthy, and I feel like he's going to have a major role to play in probably the villains of this season. Whether that be Angels as a whole or whether it's just like some rogue group or something, I don't know, but we'll see. Um, I guess nothing more really to go through than to just get on with this. I'm excited for more, so let's do so. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black, then it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so yeah, this episode I knew was going to happen ahead of time. It was one thing I was spoiled on. I think I might have mentioned this in the first episode reaction that I knew EFFY was going to be in this season. But yeah, EFFY, also known as Taylor Gibson, is a gay pro wrestler who is known for like the big gay brunch kind of events and whatnot. He's really well known for being a gay con in the pro wrestling community. And so Hamish Steele casting him as here, it's like with the queer representation being such a notable part of this series, it makes sense. And there's other queer wrestlers too, of course. There's plenty in AEW alone. Anthony Bowens is gay, for example. Sonny Kiss is gender fluid, and so on and so forth. Nyla Rose is a trans woman. But EFFY is probably one of the more just generally known ones, I guess you could say. And yeah, maybe not as universally known to casual fans, but for wrestling fans, like, EFFY is pretty well known. Either way, so I'm saying a lot. Anyway, I'm saying that a lot too. Jesus. let's talk about this. So, Barney has been a wrestling fan his entire life, it seems, and being a wrestler has been one of his big goals. Which is really cool. Like, this is something we hadn't really known about before. But I like how even in season 2 we're expanding upon the characters with some more development and depth. Barney wanting to be a wrestler is pretty cool, and it definitely reaches out to me a little bit, because there was a time in my life where I wanted to go into pro wrestling just because I enjoyed it so much. I enjoyed playing the games, I enjoyed watching pro wrestling, and so I kind of had a small dream for a time of wanting to go. And like I was even looking into actual wrestling schools and stuff. But it didn't pan out and my interests changed and all. And I still like pro wrestling, but I just was no longer interested in being a pro wrestler. Excuse me. Sorry about all that. But yeah, I was no longer interested, but I still really love pro wrestling nonetheless. And so getting to see Barney take part in this is still pretty cool. Seeing that this is Barney's dream, it's just really fun to see. We also get flashbacks through this of a younger Barney practicing the wrestling moves and everything, which is a really cute idea. On top of showing us younger Barney, I think for the first time in this series, which is really interesting. I wonder if there's going to be something that comes of that during this season. Fingers doesn't really have much of a role to play in this episode. He's just kind of there when they're selling merch and stuff, and to, you know, agree to having this in the human realm in the first place. So nothing really comes of him in this one. This is mostly centered around kind of its own separate thing, while also, again, building on the characters and whatnot. Because outside of just the general desire to be a wrestler, we also see that Barney has kind of a secondary reason for this, and especially for training in the demon realm rather than a human gym, as well as hiding his identity and everything. We see that Barney has felt extremely judged based on his appearance, the fact that he's trans. He's been, you know, pestered about his binder and everything when going to human gyms and stuff like that. He's been treated terribly and just, you know, again, pestered is the best word, really. Pestered about it everywhere he turns. So going to the demon gym, he finds a place where he's just accepted, whether by Az or any of his other opponents. He's accepted. He is just completely given the opportunity to be himself. And he still hides who he is, just because they are not really fond of humans being in the wrestling league. Because I guess we find out because of possible lawsuits, because humans can't handle the same things demons can. But we see that Barney does work to overcome those odds. It doesn't completely work out for him, and I actually think that's a good thing. I think if he actually had won that match, it wouldn't have really made sense, especially with Asmodeus being a demon king and everything. I just think it would have been a little much if he had actually won. But we nonetheless get to see we get to see a good fight, and we get to see Barney give it his all, and even Az in the end values it. And we see Barney reveal himself and kind of come to like more confidence with himself in this. He gains more confidence in not just being a human. It is definitely not just that. But he gains more confidence in who he is in general. And that's great to see. As a trans person myself, as someone who understands those kind of feelings, those kind of worries, there are still plenty of times where I don't have that confidence, especially when out in public. So it's great to see when trans people can be that confident, whether in media or in real life. So I'm really happy with what this episode did in regards to that. The wrestling stuff was fun. There were obviously some good references there. Things that, yeah, if you're a wrestling fan, you'll obviously understand. They straight up named one of the wrestlers that were mentioned The Undertaker, and it's like they didn't even need to try with that one because that's like an actual wrestler name. All the others were like parodies, but it's like that one's an actual wrestler's name. Although he's, I guess, retired currently. I don't know. He's retired multiple times, so it's hard to say. But yeah, he's one of the more legendary names in the sports in real life. Yeah, I enjoyed this. I thought this was fun. It was very much isolated. Outside of the character development and whatnot, it was still an isolated episode. It didn't do much to progress any sort of major plot stuff going on. Like I said, Fingers himself was barely in this. But that's fine because again, it built on the character stuff really well, and it was still super enjoyable and fun. So, hey, I can't complain. But tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this episode of Dead End Paranormal Park Season 2? Let me know, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.